Notes from Naija, because every day in Nigeria teaches me something that I didn't know I needed to learn. Instinct. One thing that I have been realizing is that there's a big difference between being an academic learner and then being a practical learner. Stay with me. In America, I could walk into a room confidently. I know the language, I understand the culture, and in many cases, my degrees, they would speak before I even opened my mouth. And I knew how to lead people. But here in Nigeria, it's humbled me in a very different way because here I'm learning that intelligence, it doesn't always announce itself through titles or credentials or how well I speak in a meeting. Sometimes intelligence looks like observation, it looks like adaptability, streets awareness, and knowing how to move, knowing people, knowing the culture, and knowing timing. And I started to have these quiet internal thoughts like, what if I'm not as adaptable as I thought I was? Because I know I'm a good leader. I know I care deeply about people. Even when I manage teams, my instinct is always to ask, are you okay? Like mentally, emotionally, like what do you need in order to fully show up to do your job? That's naturally how I lead. But being here, it made me really question myself for a moment because the dynamics are different here. The communication is on a different level and the expectations are very different. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like a beginner again. But I'm starting to realize that this feeling, it doesn't mean that I'm incapable. It just means that I'm learning. And there's a difference. I think that I've gained so much respect for people who live abroad because these are people who consistently move around between countries and continents, environments. The outside, it may look like it's exciting and new adventures, but internally, there are many moments where you quietly begin to question yourself and your ability to show up, and moments where your confidence has to rebuild itself. And maybe the true adaptability is not about immediately mastering everything in every moment. Maybe it's about having the humility to become a student again without losing sight of who you already are. And that's today's note from Naija.